Hi, I'm Dr. Angela McBrady of DoctorFlute.com, and today's flute tip is on starting the piccolo. Basics. You've just had a birthday and you've been given your heart's desire, which is a piccolo. Now, what do you do with it? So it's the first time you've put together your piccolo, and you could have a metal piccolo, you could have a plastic body, you could have with a metal head, or it could be all plastic. There's a lot of piccolos that sound good, that are a good buy. You don't have to get, which this one is grenadilla wood, and it's very well made, and made by the Brannan company in the 80s, 1980s, I believe. You don't have to have this one. You can have other ones that work in your budget. However, different piccolos have different intonation problems, and generally the cheaper the piccolo is, the more intonation problems they have. So when you put that piccolo together and you start playing and you want to play in a band, you might have some intonation issues that you aren't aware of that you're going to have to work on. But you've got your piccolo and now you've put it together. I would just put it together your normal way. You don't have a foot joint, so you just have your head joint, you put it on. I have mine pulled out because I know, because I've worked with a tuner, that this is where generally my A is in tune, and it gives me a good rounded intonation. I'm going to have to work on every note after that. Now I'm going to play it. Okay, you could put the piccolo right up, and I'm sure that if you've already played the flute, you can make some sounds. But the biggest mistake people make when they first start piccolo is to make their embouchure very small and tight. You can keep your embouchure much looser and much more open than you think when you play the piccolo. If you feel, when you put it up to your lip, that here's where I normally play with a flute embouchure, here's where the flute rests on my lip, then go up from there. So here's my natural place, now I'm going to move it up. Because the piccolo is played a little bit higher on your lip than the flute, and it's how the air is angled over that lip plate. If you feel when you start playing that all it is cracking really high, then you probably need to angle that air just a little bit lower and move this maybe up a hair on your lip or down a hair. So this is an experiment. Experiment where it's best on your lip. Pull out your etude book that you've been working on and just play a couple notes on the piccolo on that etude and see where your air should be so that you don't squeak. If I play it too hard, it's just not going to sound terribly good. But if I put that up, move it up just a little bit, and then just play my normal amount of air, now, this is a little bit smaller than if I was on the flute, and your embouchure will adjust. So just put it up and go, I'm going to play. I'm trying to open it up a little bit more as I play that. You will be able to adjust to that more smaller embouchure without even trying. Your embouchure will just do it. Now, another problem when you play the piccolo is going too high too soon. When you begin the piccolo, you need to start with low, and that means nothing above that second octave. The Kohler etudes, Opus 66, are wonderful etudes to begin with when you're just learning the piccolo. You've just bought one, and now we've got to build this embouchure up so that it can handle going higher. Yes, there are a couple notes in the Kohler etudes that go above that second octave C or third octave C, that go above the staff, but not too many. Most of them stay below. And so you can work with that and keep your embouchure growing and building. When you're beginning with a piccolo, you want to spend 10 to 15 minutes a day playing piccolo. Don't spend long periods of time. Go back to your flute practice, play the flute, learn whatever exercises you're learning, and then take 10 or 15 minutes and play the piccolo. And I would go through arpeggios, use your tuner, play arpeggios with this and etudes, and that would be it right at the beginning. So you could just start building the muscles and not tax this too much. When you go too high too soon, what happens is that this gets too tight and you start getting a buzz. And once you get a buzz between your lips when you're trying to reach these high octave notes, which, let's face it, we all want to play those notes, it's very hard to get rid of that buzz. So go slowly, get your piccolo, learn how to play it by playing low etudes, move it up on your lip, 10 to 15 minutes a day for a while. You'll know when you start reaching those third octave notes that you're playing in your etudes, and the third octave note pops up here and there, and you're like, oh, that's getting easier. Then you know that you could probably start adding more higher octave notes to your playing. And you can start stretching it to 20 minutes, to even 30 minutes a day. They often say 30 minutes a day on piccolo is all you really need to keep in piccolo shape and to learn that piccolo. Now, the worst thing you can do is to get up really high, because it's going to tighten up here, and just then stay really tight. And your third octave can be much more open and loose than you think up there. So allow that third octave to grow slowly. Don't let it get too tight. And that's how you begin on the piccolo. Enjoy playing your piccolo. That's today's flute tip. If you like this video, press the like button, share it with your friends, comment below, and subscribe.